Adults of Reddit, what is something every teenager needs to know? It's okay to say no to anyone. Don't let anyone in your life guilt trip you into doing something you don't want to do or are uncomfortable with. And try to be aware of when you are guilt tripping others. I've watched people do it to others without realizing they are doing it, as it's a learned behavior, and to them it's just what is done by everyone. The measure of whether someone has the potential to be a new friend of yours is not whether they like a bunch of things you like. It is entirely possible to become friends with people who like a ton of things you've never heard of, or even already decided you dislike. You are at a spot in life where a lot of your likes and dislikes are subject to change anyway. Biggest thing, making a new friend often takes time. Lots of time. Much longer than movies and shows make it look like. Find things to do, groups to join, city league sports to play, pandemic permitting, or after, and keep learning about the people you see repeatedly. Far too many early 20s people who report having no friends made a premature judgment that one or more prospective friends were off the list, when it just needed a lot more time. Can confirm. My best friend and I have absolutely nothing in common interest-wise, but get along extremely well. I always find that my friends who are my age didn't really last long, especially if we had the same interests. It seemed like we just never had anything to talk about because we experienced everything at the same time and same age. But with younger/older friends you can guide them through things that you have already experienced. One of my older friends has been helping me with my uni applications because he's already done them and knows what to say and what not to say. I won't have had that guidance/help from a friend my age. People in high school especially have this weird mentality that anyone younger than them they shouldn't be speaking to. Kinda weird since they want to be friends with the older, more popular people. We didn't meet in school, we just happened upon each other in the neighborhood a week after I moved in, but my best friend is 2.5 years younger than me and we're still best friends 20 years later. Get a marketable skill. Unskilled labor sucks. You need something that's going to pay you. It doesn't have to be your life's passion, contrary to what my peers were saying at that age, but you do need to be able to tolerate it. And you don't need to go to a university and get a BA to get those skills. 2 years of welding school will get you a better return in investment than most undergrad degrees. My brother is a principal of a US high school. He had a representative of a pipe fitters union ask to put up an information table at their school last year, like the colleges and military recruiters do. The school board was against it. They wanted their students to aim higher. My brother successfully argued that this union rep was offering paid training that in a couple of years would lead to a solid mid-5-figure income, in a career that if you went for some of the more attractive certifications, like underwater work, you could be making 6 figures a couple years after that. True, and having trade options encouraged will greatly help some students who are more mechanically inclined than academically inclined. Just because you aren't great at school or prefer working with your hands doesn't mean you can't make good money or be successful. My dad has a high school education and makes more than my mom who has a PhD. Can we talk about micro then? Dude is doing fantastic work in helping Americans reverse that mindset, not only with the show Dirty Jobs but also his scholarship program for dirty jobs. When you get to driving you need to realize that the laws of physics apply to you. They aren't out to get you, they're just indifferent. Slow the fuck down and don't horse around. You're driving a very heavy machine at speeds we did not evolve to deal with. Be safe. Also slow down on curves. Friction is your best friend until you reach the breaking point. To add to this, don't brake in curves. Slow down before the curve, then speed up out of the curve. I don't know the physics behind this, but my dad was a police officer and has done some pursuits, and I was told this by my driver's ed instructor who helps instruct police officers too. This is because braking takes away from overall tire grip. Very common fundamental in racing, but can also save your life on public roads where grip is already shitty, especially with stock or old tires. However, this doesn't mean you can't brake at all in a turn. You just have to be wary that there is a limited amount of grip for even the best tires. Don't put off dealing with mental health issues. Developing unhealthy coping mechanisms for emotional issues will fuck you up big time down the road. If you have issues, deal with it head on, right away. It can take time, but start the work now. Also, save for retirement. You should open a Roth IRA yesterday. Sometimes it's not just a phase, and your parents, while both very intelligent functional people, are fucking idiots for letting you suffer through 4 years of high school. Don't go to college for more than 2 years unless you're gonna finish it. Don't let your bank account yo-yo around zero. Start to save something. At least have $1,000 for an emergency fund. Drinking a little is fine. Drinking at the bar every weekend, or 3 times a week, will ruin your health and your wallet. Don't drink and drive. But you are allowed to have fun and nice things sometimes. And sex is not wrong, or immoral. Just be careful about it. And most social media is a poisonous, toxic, lying bragfist dumpster fire. Don't waste your time except for your immediate friend group. Yeah, unfortunately both my parents are suffering from forms of depression, same as me. My dad's been out of a job for more than half a decade and just sits around playing video games, while my mom has a lot of unresolved traumas from her dad being a sack of shit and the fact that she's the breadwinner. In 8th grade I asked my mom if I could go see a therapist, but she said she learned to deal with her problems by herself, and so should I. 4 years later and nothing's improved. It's hard to think, and I've failed multiple assessments the past few weeks since I've just been sleeping. I still feel like shit. But at least I managed to submit my statistics project today. It may be 2 days past the deadline, but it's a start. It's never too late to just see a therapist. If you are assaulted on campus, notify the police, not campus security. To add to this, if you're experiencing harassment, bullying, or anything that isn't technically a matter for the police, don't stop reporting it to the school until somebody actually listens to you. The first person you talk to at the school may blow you off. Go to the next person up or another department. If they say there's nothing they can do, get them to put it in writing. People are often much more inclined to help if their actions, or lack thereof, are being recorded. No problem. Can I get a copy of that decision in writing? It's for my records and I'd like it available in case another party or department refers me back to you. It'll save me some time. Suddenly they can help you or will get on the phone to the right people. I would say if they blow you off when you talk to them about it, send them a follow-up email restating your complaints and asking them to help you understand why the school can't help. Even if they won't respond, you still have a record that they were aware of your complaints and wouldn't help.